Monday, and nobody's going to be there, and I'm going to be looking around going, where is everybody?
Yeah.
And it's going to be
Changing my
me.
mind.
So,
Okay.
yeah, you don't. Hey, welcome back. It is the North Wright County Today podcast, live and direct to you from downtown Albertville, historic downtown Albertville, Minnesota, where we are promptly drying out from a week of just rain and cold and ugh, and yeah. So happy to see a little bit of sunshine today. Happy to see you guys today. We are recording this, like I said, live from the Selfie Company studios. It is the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend, the official, unofficial kind of kickoff of summer. We're nearing the home stretch. If you're a school kid or a school parent, we're kind of reaching the end. And today, that's why I've got my sidekick all the way down on the left. We've got Sam Pfeiffer, the hostess with the mostest here. And in the middle, we have Lauryn White, better known to many of you as STMA Mom. She's got the brand wear right there. Good stuff. And we're going to kick off the show right away with her. So thanks, Lauryn, for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you for
it.
having
So
me.
I told Lauryn, I'm like, yeah, I did this crazy thing and met with a couple friends and turned North Wright County Today into a podcast. And here we are. And you got to come on because summer's coming, man. And parents are like, what am I going to do? So, and Lauryn's been like the expert on what to do with your kids. And she's been doing it for a while. So welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun to be here. I've been listening to a lot of the podcast episodes. It's really cool to get to
you
know
don't
some
have to
people around the
lie.
community.
It's okay.
A few episodes.
Sweet. Well, you kind of kick us off. Why don't you give us a little bit of the background on STM Mom and what kind of led you to invent this and bring it to the community?
Sure. So I started STMAmom.com 8 years ago in 2017. At the time I had a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. And as a stay-at-home mom, I was always trying to figure out like what are things we can do to get out of the house, go be, get around the community, keep these kids entertained, keep myself sane. And I found that it was kind of hard to find out what was happening around town. Or if you were new to the community or new to being a parent and you didn't know where to look yet, you had to go find, go to this website and this Facebook page and read the city newsletter and all the different things. And I was like, it would be so great if there was a resource for parents that put all of that stuff in one location so that it was easy to find and preferably would also just come to us, save us the work.
Yeah.
So after a year or so of wishing we had something like that, I was like, well, I'm going to start this. STMA Mom is just that. It's a resource, an online resource for parents in our community to find out about local events, news, businesses, things that are family friendly, activities for kids, stuff like that.
So it was interesting when we first met because it was like, okay, here's a competitor kind of popping up in town. And I think we met for coffee or we grabbed lunch or something like that. And it was like, no. Like, this is really going to work in conjunction with what North Wright County Today does because Patch, obviously, which is what I started with the help of AOL at the time. And then eventually what, spun off became North Wright County was very much news and business based. You knew what was going on in the community and you kind of knew the people behind it. And that's what we're doing now with the podcast. This is STMA Mom is really family oriented, kid oriented, and reaches a lot of the stuff that frankly I couldn't get to as a one-man show, who also has a full-time job. Yeah. So I think, some of the stuff that you've been able to do with the featurettes on some of the, kid-friendly events, family-friendly events, you're always on top of the FYCC stuff and the parks, splash pads, things like that. So how has it evolved in the last 8 years for you?
Well,
or has it not? Maybe it's just been a steady stream of.
I haven't thought about it in that way. Well, I would say to some extent it's evolved a little bit with my own family as my kids have gotten older. At the
That's
time.
kind of where I was trying to lead you.
Looking for different things to do than like the toddler thing.
Yeah. So when I started, it was like very focused on what is there for like parents with little kids, like ECFE and library story times and stuff like that. And so then over time, as I've become more aware of what all the great things in our community, as my kids have gotten older, it's expanded into more and more like for all ages.
What has and Sam, jump in, whatever.
Yeah.
But what surprised you the most as you've done this?
How much people will just like come up to me in public and think like they're like, this is so great. I rely on this so heavily because a lot of times I'm just kind of like this person behind a computer. Like I don't put my face on the screen very much, and I'm not doing things like this where I'm talking to people much.
Another way we're a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it can seem really like, what am I spending all this time for sometimes when I'm doing it? And then I'll bump into someone and they're like, oh my gosh, that's my go-to resource. I'm so glad that you do that. It makes my life so much easier. And that's just, I don't know, it's why I started it, but at the same time, it's like, it's so good to hear, right? Like it's validating and
I think as a mom, you always want quick resources to go to. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you don't want to dig for information anymore. That's not where we're at anymore. We want it now. Yeah. Yesterday, actually.
Well, and we're so busy. I mean, I know especially when I was like in the trenches with toddlers, I needed that like easy hacks, like mom hacks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I need somebody to tell me where I can take my toddler because I'm busy enough just trying to keep them
my kid alive. Is having a bad moment. We need to get out of the house. What can I do?
So if I can make that load a little bit lighter for parents, then I've done my job, and it's so fulfilling to be able to do that.
So I will shout out the favorite thing that you do that has always been something that I've kind of tagged you on is the Christmas lights, the tour. For the, we're a ways away, but in fact, we're only 7 months away. I got reminded by my youngest, it's only 7 months till my birthday, and she's a December birthday. But Lauren puts together a nice map of where some of the best Christmas light displays are, holiday light display. They're not all Christmas related. Most are. But you can hop in the car and grab a glass of hot cocoa and head out and check out the lights and see all the work that other people have done because you don't have time as a busy mom to throw up Christmas lights on your house.
My kids have their favorite one in town here. Where you can get out and you can walk the yard and you find like he has like a little hidden treasure in there.
That's on I believe it's on Large. Yep. Here I did a story with them several years ago. Super cool. One of the coolest things that I found was how he stores them. Every little blow mold, because they're all blow molds, has a hook on the top. And he has little eyelets in his rafters in his garage. Everybody has a place where they hang. And they just hang up there.
Tedious work.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Because it's his entire yard. I can't remember, but I think he has something like 78 or 100, probably over 100 now, Santas. Just lining the back fence. So super cool that you do that. What do we got coming up for summer? What are some of your favorite summer things?
Oh my gosh, so many. I brought like a whole cheat sheet because
we
could talk for hours.
Hey, we usually go an hour. Cram it in.
No, summer is absolutely my favorite time of year in this community because there's just so much to do, so many things for kids, and I mean, I could start anywhere. So obviously,
we can skip Friendly City Days. Because we're gonna have a big announcement in a little bit about what we're doing for Friendly City Days.
Okay.
And we want everybody to come to that and forget everybody else. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we're gonna have plenty of information about Friendly City Days coming up. So tell us some of the other stuff.
Sure. The one thing I will say about Friendly City Days is I usually have on my website just a quick list of like kid-friendly events.
Nice.
Because there's a lot that happens at Friendly City Days, but a lot of it is more geared toward adults. So if you want the like short list of things that are fun to take kids to, you can watch for that on my website in the next couple weeks.
The Moms Club does a really great job with that.
Yeah, they have an activity.
Daytime is kid time, right? And then nighttime at Friendly City Days is when you get the kids.
Nighttime, I'd say after like 4:30. When I first moved here, I mean, we'll get into it at the podcast, but holy cow, I was very surprised at the shenanigans that goes on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the live show.
Yeah. But for kids, I would say some of the things that my family, we love to kick off our summer, or my kids and I, with the library's summer reading program, because that's one of the first things that happens when summer kicks off. Kids can sign up for the summer reading program, read books throughout the summer, and then get age-appropriate prizes. So there's like preschool prizes, kid prizes, teen prizes, and then the library hosts a number of events throughout the summer that are related to summer reading. So like they're on June 13th is their like official kickoff, and they're having a concert, and the St. Michael Royalty is going to be there. They're going to be handing out treats, things like that. So
cool.
Yeah. And anything I mentioned today will be listed on my website. If you go to STMAMom.com, right at the top of the page, it says events calendar. You can click on that. So anything I mention will be listed
also
there with details.
On social media, right? You're out there on Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, both at STMA Mom.
Nice. So.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, growing up, actually, my sister and I, we did the Book It contest through Pizza Hut. This is for those of you that grew up with that. That's kind of this. There's no personal pan pizza in it for you, but
sometimes there's ice cream. I don't know what the prizes are this year, but it's cool because the kids will get as their reward. They'll get a few different rewards, like a free book or things like that.
Cool.
There you go.
But they get like drawing slips, and they get to put their name on them and put them on whatever prize they want. So maybe your kid wants Legos, maybe your kid wants to go to Bunker Beach. Like these, you can put them in there, and then they draw, and it's fun. My kids have won prizes there before, and they're always so excited, And whether they win or not, they just love going to the library.
Especially if you have a kid who doesn't even like pizza, so
right?
What kid doesn't like pizza?
Oh, I've heard some. I don't trust.
All right, so another one I know you got is FYCC.
Yeah, you read my mind. Look at that.
We shout out Sandy. I'm trying to get Sandy on the show. She's too busy. Which is fine. We'll just continue bugging her through the show and giving her all the shout outs and all that stuff for all the work that she does. Tell us what's shaking with FYCC.
Yeah, so FYCC hosts great events all year long. So like this is their calendar of events for the year. And you can see the squares or the rectangles for summer are much bigger because they do lots of things. The one they're probably most known for is Reading in the Park. Don't worry, this won't all be reading for those of you who want to take a break from school during the summer. But FYCC hosts Reading in the Park both in Albertville and St. Michael parks once a month, and then on Hanover every single Thursday through the summer.
That's awesome.
And so it's just an opportunity for kids to come. It's at one of the parks, obviously, in town. So for here in Albertville, it's at Central Park, and so they meet usually either at the depot or under the farmers market shelter, and they have a guest reader, someone from the community. So sometimes it's the superintendent, sometimes it's the royalty, like all different kinds of people. Sometimes it's business owners. They can come hear that person's favorite story. Usually it's 2 or 3 stories, and then kids are able to pick out a free book to take home.
I think that's one of my favorite things about our community is that it's not just someone putting something on, and it's one. The community really does get involved, and it's an entire project for everyone, it feels like.
Just through working with folks over the past several years, obviously North Wright County Day being something like 11 years old now. People want other people involved. Like the organizers are like, oh, who can we bring in that does this better than we do? And I think there's that teamwork aspect, and that is a super cool thing about STMA that I always appreciate, and FYCC is a huge example of that. They're always bringing folks in for bike rodeo and friendly streets, open streets, things like that. And the Reading in the Park is no different. I got to do that one year. It's super fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah, super
Yeah.
fun.
A couple other things they have coming up this summer that are pretty popular. In July, they're going to be hosting a Touch a Truck event that's in conjunction with the library.
Kids love that.
They do love that. So if you're not familiar with Touch a Truck, they basically all these different trucks from different, the fire truck and the medical truck, and sometimes there's police cars and business delivery trucks, things like that. They all bring their vehicles to one big parking lot, and the kids can walk around and see all the trucks and sometimes get inside them, meet the people who drive them.
I mean, even big kids like the trucks, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my 9-year-old got to a whole tour of a fire truck recently, and it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be coming up in July. And then also FYCC hosts the Power of Produce program throughout the summer at the farmer's market. So if you're not familiar with that, kids can go and get $2 worth of free produce every week at the farmer's market. So you register for this and any events on myfycc.com, and then your kids can come out to the farmer's market in Albertville between 3 and 6 every Thursday afternoon. And that one starts July, I don't have the date.
That should be...
July 3rd.
Yeah, I was going to
July
say, I
3rd
believe that's
through the end
right
of
before
August.
the 4th,
Yeah. And they can just come and pick up some produce, and it's great because they can also walk around and see what else, buy some more things. Frequently, the Albertville Lions Club has music in the park on those same nights, so it's a real, can make it a whole thing if you want.
Yeah, and that's a huge one too. A lot of kids, not necessarily, well, we talked about it a little bit with Josh Ligon. We do have families that are, looking for the next meal in the summer. And this is another way, beyond with school lunches not being there for kids, no breakfast, no lunch from the school district. This is another way to supply those kitchens, get some food in your fridge. It's a great program. A lot of times growers have too much, because we do have, obviously we've had plenty of rain lately, and we're going to have good growing conditions here coming soon, and people are going to have a lot of produce to share, and this is one way to give to those who might not have as much.
Yeah. So
super cool event. Talk to me about, I think summer theater is always a big thing, right? What do we got shaking for that?
Well, I know SOAR Regional Arts is hosting a number of camps throughout the summer. Those are usually in July and August, and then they're also doing Broadway in the Park again this summer, which, if you're not familiar, they will perform a play at Otsego Prairie Park as part of Otsego's Entertainment in the Park series, which I can talk more about as well. But that's my favorite program they do all year, and I'm a little biased because sometimes my daughter participates.
Sweet.
But they will perform an entire hour-long play in the park, and it's free, and they do one in the morning and one in the evening, so everybody has a chance to attend.
Awesome.
But yeah, they also host lots of summer camps, so you can go to SOAR Regional Arts website or Facebook page and find out more about those.
The SOAR program, we're just so lucky to have that in our backyard.
Yeah.
Just great folks up and down, and we're going to have those guys in probably next fall and talk about some of the stuff that they do. But the Broadway in the Park thing is just super fun. It's like something you think you would find in a bigger area.
That's fun. Yeah.
And to have it in our neighborhood over in Otsego is great. And Prairie Park keeps evolving and is such a great place. The city of Otsego is putting some more money into that park, so it's going to keep improving over there. I think they're going to update the splash pad over there and do some other things with the pavilion and all that. So expect some new amenities over there and probably more events that you'll have to cover. So.
Yeah. Well, and they, like I mentioned, they do entertainment in the park. They host a number of kid-friendly activities throughout the summer. They used to be consistently the same day of the week. This summer I noticed they're kind of all over the place, which is nice though, because if say you've already got an activity on that day of the week, you can't ever go. But those are fun. So they'll have different guests in and different performers, so kids can go and see a show, do an activity, and then what's great is the splash pad is right there, so you can stay and play. And
that was the first one, man. For those of us who have a little bit older kids, Otsego was kind of the first one you could go to.
I used to take my kids all the way up to Princeton for that splash pad up there, because that was the only, like you said, there was no resources when my kids were little. So that was the only one I knew about. So.
Right.
Yeah. There's lots of great splash pads, but
Okay, you talked about reading. What about movies? I know in my mind, I'm thinking of taking the kids to like Monty or Rogers or St. Michael Movie Theater, which came later in my kids' life. They've got like super cool stuff going on in the summer.
Yeah, so I can talk specifically about St. Michael Cinema because I haven't looked into what what the other theaters are doing yet.
That's great.
But yeah, so St. Michael Cinema has $1 kids movies, which is one of my favorite things because it's expensive to go to the theater a lot of the times.
Right on.
And in the summer, we go all the time because you can get a ticket for $1, you know, and especially if you've got the refillable popcorn bucket, you know, you can just go all the time. So what they do is they run a different movie every week. And it's usually a relatively new kids movie, but not brand new.
Right.
So nothing that you would see on the posters on the walls, but like I think this summer they've got Wild Robot from last year. They've got Trolls 3. Like so some movies that are came out not that long ago. They'll do a different one every week, and the showtimes vary. So if you want, you can go on their website or my website to find what those showtimes are, and you can buy tickets online or you can get them at the door. They do fill up some of those key showtimes that people like to go to because especially if it's really hot or if it's raining like that. There's not a lot to do around here once the weather turns on us. But
rumor has it that she's brought back the drive-in.
I heard that too.
I'm kind of excited.
I don't know a lot of details yet, but it's funny because my husband and I were just saying the other day.
How much fun it was during the C word, right? Like,
it was one of the few good things about that era.
Yeah, it was such a great concept. And when she was like, "Oh, my kids loved it," and we inquired about it. She's like, "Yeah, I just don't know." I'm like, "Oh, you need to bring it back," and she did this summer, so it's gonna be fun.
They actually had the Timberwolves game. Game 6 when they won the series. Was on the drive-in screen. And I think that was a trial run to kind of see what they could get done this summer. I know the wall has a couple of places that need some paint. Some things like that. But years. I have heard the same that the drive-in will be back this summer and they're going to be able to do some select movies out there and maybe even some of the kids' movies. So watch the St. Michael Cinema Facebook page. I'm going to gap on her name. Shelly. I was going to say Sherry. She kicked my butt. Shelly will be on there with one of those little videos. Shelly from St. Michael Cinema.
The outdoor music will be starting soon.
I was just going to say, the place will also be hopping with the event center there. So check that out. And that's more family and adult oriented. But they do have a couple family shows that come. I would take my kid to Chris Hockey Band. I mean, absolutely. So that'll be fun too. So. All right. What else you got? Or you got to get out of here?
No, I'm good. No. You told me kick me out anytime. Also on the thread of indoor activities, I always sign my kids up for the Kids Bowl free program. So that is not through a community organization. It's like a national thing where you can sign your kids up at kidsbowlfree.com and get 2 free games of bowling for each of your kids every single day in the summer. And we usually sign up.
Where was this?
Surprise.
I need to have another. I'm kidding.
You can
I do not need to have another baby to have all these fun activities.
Bring some other kids.
I'll borrow children.
Yeah, there you go. So that is, again, another one for when it's super hot or when it's raining. Like, when your park plans get ruined, it's like, my bowling passes are already in my email. We're going.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we will sign up at the Monticello Bowling Alley. River City Extremes.
River City Extremes, great. Good folks up there. That's a good one. The other one, I'll piggyback on that. That's a good kids deal. If you've got golfers in your family, the Cedar Creek Youth Golf Program is fantastic. It's like $200, might be a little more than that. Check in with Brock over at the Cedar Creek Pro Shop, but you can still get your kids signed up for that. They have youth golf clinics for, I believe it's like 6 weeks throughout the summer. But if you're in on the clinic, you get a free 9 holes if you come and play and you're under 18. And my kid probably went once a week. So he'd have his golf clinic once a week where he'd play 9 holes. and then he and his buddy would go one more time a week. So they get 2
That's
rounds
cool.
of golf in a week. They get outside, they get some fresh air, they get some activity, they play the 9 holes, they walk, whatever that is, 3,000 yards. So I would say that's a little over 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and good exercise and good things. So that's a really cool program. So check out Cedar Creek Golf Course for that one. That goes from like 17 all the way down to I think age 9 is when they can start. And they start with a little clinic to start the day. They'll work on like chipping, putting. They'll go to driving range and do your irons and your woods, and they'll send them out, let them play. They've got special tee boxes for them that are a little closer to the hole if you want, and super cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got kids who are not golfers, who want other sports, community education has a ton of options. Swim lessons, gymnastics, t-ball, t-ball for 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
All the things. So my kids have grown up in community education programs, and that's a great option too. So, and I have this linked on STMAMom.com, and also this. So if you didn't get one in person, these come in the mail. But if you didn't get it,
the other one I'll plug is ISD 728, which is where I work. Community education. So if you're an Otsego resident, things like that. But you don't even have to be a resident.
Right.
You can use whatever community education program that's good for you. We have horse lessons, which is a big one. We work very closely with Boulder Point, which is out kind of east of Elk River there. And now then, some great horseback riding lessons, things like that, activities, group camps, things like that. Swimming lessons are always huge. And of course, driver's ed.
I just signed my daughter up for that. Be fearful.
Get signed up, y'all. Those go super fast. Swimming lessons, driver's ed, you should be thinking about right now. Like, you got to be doing those things early.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm late to the game. She's 16, and she's going to Anoka Tech next year. And I had no idea you had to have your permit for 6 months before you get your driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
So now I've literally just signed myself up to drive to Anoka Tech twice a day for like 3 months.
Yeah, you have. I can't even help
Get your
you.
kids signed up.
Right on. All right. Anything else you got going on this summer?
I mean, I would say just keep an eye on Facebook and Instagram, because I'm always sharing these things. There'll be more coming up with, Albertville Lions Kids Day. There will be St. Michael has family nights in the park. St. Michael Days will be around the corner, just a couple months. But yeah, so there's a lot.
Don't go that.
Like I said,
let's.
Somebody already was
Sorry.
just like, and this is a couple weeks ago. The state fair is 100 days away. I'm like, what?
That is
Hold on. We haven't even started summer yet. Our kids are still in school, and we're already talking state fair. I can't handle it. It's too much.
Great Minnesota to get together.
The nice thing is, I'm always thinking ahead so that you guys don't have to.
Right.
Like, when you're ready, this information is on the calendar. So just click on there anytime. Be like, okay, now I know what I'm doing in August. In July, you can click.
Yeah.
There you go. I will throw out a couple more big events that are coming to town. One, Crow River BMX is going to be hosting a national again this year, and that's always huge fun. So we're going to try to get those guys in. That's going to be in July. The track has undergone a huge renovation. They're doing a bunch of stuff. So the track itself looks very similar, but some of the amenities and stuff around the track are going to be great. And then the other one, of course, we've already kind of talked about when they got awarded it, but the State Legion Baseball Tournament will be here,
That's right.
which is super fun for all ages who like baseball.
Yeah.
So if you got kids in baseball, maybe mark that one on your calendar because they're going to want to go watch. And that'll be a lot of fun. So lots going on this
Yes. Oh, yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the best time of year.
Right on.
Right.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'll let you go and
You're welcome.
enjoy some of the sunshine and, pick
Finally.
up.
Right.
Right. I feel like, if
Mother
you would have
Nature's
asked me
bipolar.
a couple
Swear.
days
A little
ago, I would have been like, yeah, I'm building the Ark out back. Just,
Right.
I'll let you all know. But today feels good.
It does.
Yes.
It looks
It's
like
nice
we're going to
out
have some sun for a while, and then the rain will be back just in time for graduation.
Oh, I remember those days. So we've had exchange students the last couple of years, and graduation is always like, is it in or out? In or out? And I'm like, luckily, No, it was inside last year. Because Mike and I,
It did get moved
we waited till the 9th hour, which was okay because we ended up in the theater.
Yeah.
So we got to sit on cushioned seats
Right.
and like instead of the gym. And I'm like, all right, I love my kids when they graduate, but I'm sitting back here. I'll cheer from in here.
Yeah.
So I literally was down Mother's Day to, we talked about it a little bit on the pod, down there for a soccer tournament. I talked to Grandma and Grandpa. I'm like, hey, here's the deal. Like, we're short tickets. Are you guys okay watching it in the pack? And they're like, air conditioned, cushioned seats.
Exactly.
I don't have to deal with the bleachers and people going up and down, the conk, 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 when people go to the bathroom or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can actually hear what's going on. We're good with the pack. We're fine.
And you can see everybody's face. It's great in there.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you guys might have the right idea.
Yeah.
But everybody knows I'll have the camera on and be rolling around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, back to you. Thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
We're gonna have you back.
Okay.
We'll get you back this
summer.
fall, and we'll
Talk about Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
we'll talk to you about
Okay,
all
sounds
the
good.
stuff going on with back to
So
school and
far
holidays and all that
It
stuff.
is, but it's not. I know.
I can tell you by being a senior parent, it goes
fast.
Yeah.
like that. So, hey, I'm here to talk to you about one of our featured sponsors on North Wright County today, and that is Stellus Health. With locations in Buffalo and Monticello, Stellus Health has you covered. Pop on over to their website where they've got some kick butt podcasts on health and safety and things summer now. Keep your kids safe during the summer. Keep yourself healthy during the summer. Urgent care, skin care, expecting moms, pediatrics, Stellus Health has what you need for health and safety in your community. Find out all about them online. Stellus was founded by a group of local doctors who wanted to provide for the community, and that's why they've been a great longtime partner for us here at North Wright County today. Community-minded, caring about our neighbors, all that jazz. Don't feel like it's urgent? You can make same-day or future appointments right there in Buffalo, Monticello. Located next to Centricare Hospital or the Buffalo Hospital in Buffalo, you can do all your stuff in one place. If you don't want to go in person, Stellus Health has virtual care too. So check out their ads on the podcast here or on the website or even over at stellushealth.com. What's been shaking with you? I feel like it's been forever.
I know. Prom was crazy. We're over that hump. That was great. So for those, we had to buy a second camera because we got booked. So we were booked out 2 proms or 2 events every weekend for the last month and a half. It was insane.
So Selfie Company has become the dominant force at prom.
It's been great.
I heard the line was long.
It's 4 hours long. All day. Yeah. All day, every day. Yeah.
That's crazy.
They love it. It's so much fun. And it's a great little memory that these kids get to take with, and it's fun, and
super cool. So Selfie Company, what do you got going on this summer?
Summer, we have been booking out for grad parties. Our thing now is when I go to grad parties, I always see the mom, she's hustling, bustling. She's not really enjoying the time. She's just making sure everybody's taken care of. Well, I'm like, let me do that for you. Let me do the setup and cleanup, and you just come here and spend time with the family and your kid and your graduate and have a good,
Oh, super fun. I didn't even think of that idea.
So we kind of treat it as an open house. So you rent the studio, and then we set up tables, chairs, and tents outside, and you have your food up there, and people can come in and take photos and with a grad, and it's really cool.
Nice. And babies?
Babies, mom and me,
Yeah.
So we're adding some new things to our website, so that's good. All good things.
Cool. So check out selfiecompany.com.
theselfieco.com,
There you go. Theselfieco.com. They're also on Facebook.
Instagram,
you got
and
your
Facebook,
there.
and
Instagram.
we're on Twitter, and
You've
we're on TikTok.
also had a couple influencer visitors.
We have,
throw you out and give you shout outs on.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It's really cool.
So
if you haven't been, you need to come visit in here. So even on a hot day, rainy day, come visit us.
Yeah, cool down. Come on in. Throw the toddler in the bathtub. Get some cute pictures. That's cool.
So. Low key family friend, family photos. We're not a posy family. I don't know if you guys take family photos. We've done it, and it's just
we have not done family photos in years and years. And I was like, guys, can we do them this year? It's kind of hard when you're
hard.
A bit of a broken blended family, but we're gonna get something on the docket there.
But what a fun way to do it here versus, I don't know, we're not a stiff family, we're not a posy family.
Yeah.
So when we get a photographer, a professional one, and they're like, oh, I don't like it, and your kids, I don't know. So just come here, come do family photos.
Come
here.
run around and
yeah,
sit
and it's
in the
low
friends.
key and chill and yeah,
for sure. That's a great idea. Yeah. So we are, we record this on Thursday, so we're looking at Memorial Day, and like I said, to kick off the show, official kind of start of summer.
Yeah.
I will not be at a cabin, but I know thousands of us will be.
It'll be interesting with 94 under construction, how that's going to go.
It's going to be a nightmare. I mean, it was terrible this morning. Something happened overnight. I'm not quite sure, but I have noted, like Thursday night has become the official get out of town. So I'm sure we'll see it tonight. Like I said, we record on Thursday.
Yeah, it'll actually start. It might have even started yesterday now that people can kind of work from home, but tonight's probably going to be a nightmare on 94.
So 94 under construction, 169 under construction at Princeton. I mean, you're just going to be have to be patient. You'll get there.
Car snacks.
Look, you've got Monday off, so you got an extra day there. Obviously, the people who are leaving tonight obviously took Friday off. So for those of us sticking around town, there is some fun stuff going on. There's some live music at a few places, things like that. So check our website or Facebook feed, really. We're sharing some of those. One of my favorite things, if it dries out, we'll need like better hiking shoes or something. But, this is a really cool time to take a hike. And I say that in a nice way, not like take a hike, get out of there, but like Lake Mariah State Park, Crow-Hassan Regional Park, Three Rivers Park District nearby here. Both are just beautiful right now.
Yeah, we love to bike too, and the biking trails.
Yeah.
I was really surprised how many amazing biking trails we have in our community.
Yeah.
And they go everywhere.
Yeah, super cool. And you can. There's a little bit of construction down in Hanover with the roundabouts and stuff.
But you can still go that way and get to the lakes.
You can get all the way down to Hanover, shoot west, and you can get all the way out to Beebe Lake, which is, my kids have taken advantage of that, I know. And the lake's in really good shape. Obviously, the water's going to be up.
A little chilly,
but less bugs. You're not kind of into that first hatch.
The gnats,
I know there's been like times where you go wherever for Memorial Day, and you've got mayflies, you got the first hatch of mosquitoes, you got gnats out there. It's like bugs everywhere. I tell you what, that's not going to be the case.
No, we have my father-in-law lives on Lake Minnewaska, and my daughter, she hates bugs. And the mayflies were so thick one year that he had to open up his garage door so he could pull in to like get her out of the car so she wouldn't be in the mess of mayflies. And then on the way out, Mike had to go to Fargo to work, and so I'm like, so we had to take the 2-car situation, right? So I'm like getting her in to like go back home, and she starts screaming on 94. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I look back and she has this teeny tiny mayfly on her. I thought I was just gonna like, oh man, pull over on 94 so I get this little mayfly off of her. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I tell you, the other thing that's going to be starting here soon is all the farmers markets, and
I can't wait. Minneapolis, I think, has already started.
Yeah. Yep, yeah. Some of those, Monticello, in fact, closer to home.
Yeah.
If you go to the community center parking lot, they'll have some of your, your candles, your jams, your stuff like that. Some of the stuff from, greenhouses, things like that. But yeah, check those out. I think they do theirs on Saturday.
Yeah, I've seen the food trucks are out already.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep. Heard the ice cream man come by.
Yes, my kids. We actually got ice cream the other day. I know. I'm an old child at heart, so I love the ice cream man.
I tell you what, I heard that coming by, and I was like,
"You're running in the house for your dollar bills."
Yeah, I was like, I could do an ice cream sandwich. Why not? So,
planting is always a big time. This is the time of year.
Yeah, anybody who did their planting Mother's Day weekend. Sorry.
I did. I planted mine. Then I'm like, and I know nothing about plants. I'm terrible about them. So I got all these cute, like, whatever. They're fine. And they're still alive. They look okay today, but I was nervous about them.
If you did the sets, you're okay. If you do, like, seeds, if you do
your seeds probably died. Yeah.
They're gone. they're washed.
Too cold.
So
Yeah.
I apologize. Something about 4 inches of rain in 6 days is gonna kind of ruin that for you. So yeah, it will be. I know we've got a rose bush we have to replace. We planted one last year and it didn't quite survive.
I'm a murderer of plants. My mother-in-law. So even my mother-in-law, bless her soul, she passed away, but she got me. I kill so many plants that she bought me this plant that says, "Please don't kill me." Right? It's a little vase and it had a fake plant in it. So what do? I lost the fake plant. Like, so I literally can't keep even fake plants alive. Like, yeah. So don't ever let me babysit your plants.
That is the definition of not having a green thumb.
Right.
I tell you what, we've got a pretty cool announcement. So we are in officially.
Okay. This is gonna be cool.
On the block party. So I shared it on social media. I'm trying to find it right now, but so yeah, we had a bit of a conversation with the mom and dad here at the complex here, the Cons family, Christine and Andy, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So the block party
June 13th.
Is June 13th. You are right. I'm looking for the time.
Friday.
I believe it's 11 to 2. So
I do. I should know this because I'm here, but I don't know this. Yeah.
So here, let me find it. We'll just do some creative editing here. So it is on the North Wright County Today Facebook page, but
we'll be in the parking lot. You get to hear us chatter.
Right on. 10 to 2. So look at that. It's an hour longer. We'll do our regular time. We'll pop on the air at 11:30. I've got a tripod. We're going to set up a camera. Cool. We're going to do a little Facebook Live. We'll mic it up and whatever equipment you've got.
Yeah,
we'll pop out there with and make it work. But yeah, come on out for the block party. They're going to have bounce houses, face painting. This is going to be one of those kids-friendly events. So that's going to be
very
the theme for the show.
Yeah.
Roots of Albertville, which is home to, Jersey Mike's, F45, Selfie Company.
National Karate.
Yep. Karate places here. We got Tree of Life Wellness Center and then Health Source. And of course, our friend Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I actually just had a conversation with him today. So.
Yeah, he might pop on. So because we do have some cannabis news. It sounds like Anoka is going to be the first. And they're starting the construction on their very first dispensary there. So they're going to get all Anoka. Anoka's going for like party capital of the Twin Cities.
They're already Halloween capital, so why not?
Halloween capital. You can have a drink and walk from bar to bar.
Yeah.
Whatever that's, open carry or whatever
they do that huge.
Open carry, not open carry. Something different there.
They have like 65. They have a huge food truck thing too that comes through town.
Yeah.
Like 65, a ton of food trucks. That's super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Anoka. But yeah, head on down here. That'll be on Friday the 13th. Ooh. We'll hop on the air probably about 11:30, but 10 to 2, and gonna be stuff for the whole family. I assume you'll be opened up. And
we'll be open. I'll do I'll just probably have like little tours going through, so you can actually, if you ever wonder what it is like in here, you can come pop in and see it. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's our big announcement. I'm super psyched to do a live show. Come by, say hi, see us on the air.
Harass us.
Yeah, harass Nick. Bother Nick. Don't bother me. Bother Nick. I've got ad reads to do. So, no, seriously, bother us. Maybe I'll pick up some candy or tchotchkes or something, giveaways, and check out what goes into making a podcast, I guess. But there'll be much more stuff than just us, gabbing. That said, Friendly City Days all week that week. And the one
Fair
thing
opens
that
up Wednesday, right?
I know everybody loves is Wednesday morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. You see people with their little maps because they've got
garage
the list
sailing.
of garage sales from the. Were you a garage sailor ever?
No, it's not my thing.
Do you host them?
I did host one time, and after my experience, we'll talk about it again on our live podcast. I'll never do it again. I'm too type A personality for any of that. I can't.
Yeah, I have found as I've gotten older, it's much more fun to pack everything up and just take it to Goodwill. And not sit there and try to say, is this $3 or is this $5? When Gladys is going to come up and say, like, I'll give you $1 for this. Yeah. And you're going to be like, yes, please, go ahead, take it.
Take it all. Like, just get it out of my, I'm not.
It was always, my parents, actually, my mom mostly, I think, but my parents were very big into garage sales. I think we had one probably every other year. And in fact, the saddest story is I agreed to sell my Atari when I was little because we got a Nintendo and we sold the Atari. And now,
you regret that decision every day.
30 years later, I'm still like, 35 years later, I'm still like, why? Why did we do this? Like, I would have an original Atari and I would have some of the original games. Like, why did I do that? Anyway, the worst part of it was pricing everything. It was just the worst.
But then you price it, and then people are like, "I'll give you $0.25." Really? Fine.
What got like $1.50.
What am I going to do with it anyways? Like, if you don't take it for $0.25, fine, take it for $0.25.
It really is one of the few experiences where the buyer walks in and has all of the power.
Oh yeah,
I know you're trying to get rid of this crap.
Oh, yeah. But then there's some really smart buyers. Like, I don't know what I have. I'm like, for me, it's just junk, right? And some people are like really good at garage selling. Yeah. Like, they know what you have. And yeah,
absolutely. There's a few in town here that I know that have scored huge.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for that, like, weird painting that was in, like, my grandma's house that's now worth, like, $1 million. This won't ever happen, but,
Right.
Yeah, it
should
happens.
Be at Antiques Roadshow.
Right?
Yeah.
So. No, my kid, but my son, he loves garage selling. I don't know.
So that'll be Wednesday the 11th. Those will kick off, and a lot of those go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because everybody wants to enjoy the weekend. So if you're looking for all the bargains, Friday morning is usually when everybody's like everything half off. Which, again, dumb because you're negotiating prices the entire time anyway. But
graduation.
Yeah, man. I really hope the 10-day forecast is wrong. I keep looking at it. I'm like, come on,
Be nice.
Let us dry out for a couple of days. Really hoping it can be outside. It's pretty picturesque when it gets to be out there. Plus,
it's a more different vibe when it's outside.
More than 500 kids.
It's amazing.
Graduating this year, and they'll be crammed into that gym. If that's the way it goes, that gets to be a lot. That gets to be hot. Doesn't matter what it is outside. You put 500 teenagers in a gym.
And it's a gym. The outside is so much prettier.
Yeah.
So let's pray. We'll pray.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody knows an anti-rain dance, something like that, we'd appreciate it. I know the Schomer family would really appreciate it. We're having the party on the 8th. And
right after. Get it? I love that.
Oh, yeah. Get it done.
Some people have even had it like this past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of smart. I've
actually got one for sure. I think two, but one for sure on the calendar this weekend. So, sorry, it's Memorial Day weekend, I guess, but we'll try to pop by. But yeah.
My kids chose trips versus grad parties, so that's where we're at.
Good idea. Yeah.
Senior trip, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. My son kind of was like, isn't this more for you guys than us? And it's like, to be honest, probably.
Have people over and celebrate you. Yeah.
Because I know, like, you and your 7 or 8 friends who you see every day, could care less, other than the fact that you're going to get Big Boar out of the deal. Mm-hmm. Shout out Big Boar. Mm-hmm. But you would much rather hop in cars and, like, go to the 5 other ones that are going on at the same time, which is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that it's such as the conflict of the grad party. So I remember, many years ago, when I graduated. I had 2 friends who had a notebook and hit as many grad parties as they could.
Fun.
And they judged everyone's potato salad.
I love it. That's a great idea. I love it. There's some bad potato salads out there.
There is, especially and not here locally. Some of the store-bought potato salad is terrible.
Or coleslaw too.
Oh.
My father-in-law calls it wet grass. Like, wet grass. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so if we can survive the next couple weeks, we'll be good.
Home run.
It is definitely a home stretch. I will say for anyone in education right now, we're hanging on the nails.
My daughter, she's like, Mom, my teachers are all crabby. I'm like, honey, I'm sure they're just over it.
Oh yeah.
And we all have spring fever. It's the classes are hot because I'm sure they shut off the AC. She's like, it was cold yesterday and then hot the other day because they've kind of shut it all off by now. I mean, it should be gorgeous inside these classrooms. And so like and they have chaos and there's like kids who don't want to be there. I'm like, you have to give your teachers some grace right now.
2 Fridays ago it was 85.
It's hot. Yeah.
And then the other day the high was 46.
40. Yeah.
So what do we do in a large building situation?
Right.
Who knows? A large building, you can't just do what you do in your house where it's like, turn the AC off and turn the heat on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a process. And so when people came back Monday and it was, freezing cold, we're like, sorry, y'all. It's,
Yeah, it is what it is. Wear sweatshirts. Yeah.
The school store has sweatshirts. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Grab one. But we can't do much. So, teachers are crabby. Students are crabby. The buildings,
the administration's trying to get all the paperwork in for these grads. Like, it's a lot happening. Like, just have some grace with everyone. Just show each other grace.
We're trying to get you to the same place you're trying to go because when you're going out that door, we're going out the back part.
Yeah.
It's the end for us too. Not for me personally. I work through the summer, but for our teachers and our administrators, they're ready to wrap it up too. So, but look, it's not all a downer or conflict. No. We're all super excited. The graduation walkthroughs have started where the kids, the seniors go and walk through some of their, former buildings and see their old teachers and stuff like that. And it's such a special moment, because those teachers remember you as, this hall and now you're this big. And many of them haven't seen you since.
No. I love to scroll through TikTok and I saw this and I actually sent it to my daughter. I'm like, you need to go to Dr. Ann and approach us. And they have an outdoor day where the seniors and the kindergartners get together and they do activities in a field.
Nice.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah. That would be a great day.
Yeah.
I saw the other one that's been popping up on TikTok. They set up a big refrigerator box in front of one of the doors to the classrooms. And so the kindergartners, and they paint it to look like a time machine.
That's
so the
cool.
kindergartners walk in.
And the seniors walk out.
And the seniors walk out, and it looks like they've been in this time machine. And it really, for anybody who's and I don't want to get too sappy here, I'll save that for next week. I'll have my open letter to graduates next week. It does go that fast.
It goes by so fast, yeah.
It's hitting me in so many different ways right now. Yeah. And again, I'll talk about it in depth next week.
My girlfriend, she kind of sent us a text yesterday, and her kiddo's graduating this year. And she's just like, oh, I need a hug. And I'm like, yeah. And it just, fortunately, my son, he stayed home, this year. So he is now leaving. So I'm like, I think we're all I can kind of sympathize with her because now, Bubba's going to leave and go off, next year. So I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I love being a parent so much, and I'm not ready for my kids not to be home. I'm that mom that, you can live with me forever. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. I can't imagine not, having that conversation when you get back from wherever it was you were.
Or just the noise.
Yeah.
Just to have it be, to go from 4 to 3, I don't know. I'm not ready.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. That was super fun. And, we're already an hour into this thing, man. So
it goes by so fast.
I know.
It's easy.
Lauren was like, how do you guys, and I'm like, just watch. You're going to talk to us for a half an hour, and we're going to gab for like 20 minutes after, and it's going to be done. And that's exactly what happened. So, hey, everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Be safe.
If I get this posted before Memorial Day weekend. If I don't, have a great last full week of school and last full week of May. Man,
Went by fast. May went by fast.
Yeah, there was like 100 days in January and 4 days in May.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Solutions Counseling. We want to get them a shout out before we sign off today. Did you know, and you probably do because you're listening to the show and you're smart, that Solutions has served like 1 in 3 members of the St. Michael Albertville community. That's an official stat from Craig Renz. That's like 10,000 men, women, and kids getting help with Solutions for their mental health. That's awesome because mental health should be just like physical health. Get those checkups and check-ins. Solutions has 24 professionals to choose from to get those checkup and check-ins, including an individual therapist that can help with everything from depression, anxiety, trauma, marital issues, empty nest syndrome, and all those other things. They even have play therapists and hypnotherapy. Located right on Main Avenue, Solutions can also offer virtual appointments if that's more of your jam. Take a tour, get on the website to set up an initial appointment. That's online at getcounseling.org. This podcast is also brought to you by Deerwood Bank. And as Nick Schultz would say, Nick's not with us. And shout out to Nick and his wife, April. Hope everything's good. President of Deerwood Bank, Nick Schultz, would say it's a great week at Deerwood Bank. And it has been a good week at the bank. They're, up for all these cool awards. They're doing stuff with the chamber. Check them out on the bank, at the bank location off of Melby and Highway 241, and stop in and see Nick. We're sad he's not here to give us the rundown, but we know he'll be back next week to tell us all the things shaking at Deerwood around Minnesota and all the things that they do. Hey, stop by Friday on your way out. They'll have popcorn for you and some other goodies. So if you're headed out or just looking for a snack, it's Popcorn Friday. So Deerwood Bank, deerwoodbank.com, or check them out on the app if you've got an account and do your mobile banking. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good stuff.
Good stuff.